The Appalachian Mountains are a beautiful and unique gem in the heart of the eastern United States. The varied elevations of the mountains help create microclimates that wouldn't normally appear this far south, such as spruce fir forest habitat. Additionally, this setting has historically provided resilience against changes in climate, making the Appalachian Mountains one of the most biodiverse areas in the world. In this series, we're going to talk about some of the numerous interesting species that call these mountains home. And for this episode, we're going to start with one of the most bizarre, the star-nosed mole. The star-nosed mole is a small, shrew-like mammal that lives throughout the Appalachian region, stretching as far north as Quebec, south to Virginia, and even far out into the west into North Dakota. It prefers to live in places that have moist soil and poor drainage. This includes marshes, peatland, forests, and banks of streams and ponds. It prefers to live underground, and therefore is practically blind. Instead, it relies on its sense of touch to navigate and locate prey, kind of like the giant badger moles from Avatar: The Last Airbender. As humans, we rely pretty heavily on our eyes to direct us. Put us in a cave without any lights, and we may never find our way out. With this, it's hard to conceive how something can see with their sense of touch. How exactly do star-nosed moles do this? According to Kenneth Catania, a neurobiologist at Vanderbilt University, the giant star pattern of the mole's distinct nose is imprinted into its brain's anatomy. Each time it presses its nose into the ground, it creates a star-shaped view of its surroundings. It's able to do this as the nose itself has 100,000 nerve fibers, all packed into a nose smaller than a fingertip. That's 5 times more than the human hand. Not only is the star-nosed mole great at navigating, but its nose also enables it to hunt voraciously. With all of its little tendrils, it's able to find an object, figure out if it's edible, and then eat it in less than a quarter of a second. In addition to being able to hunt prey underground, it's also one of the very few mammals that can smell and locate food effectively underwater. Most mammals don't have the ability to smell underwater, as they cannot filter water through their lungs without drowning. Most mammals that evolved to live underwater also lost the ability to smell. Catania, mentioned earlier, however, was curious about how these moles hunt underwater. These studies showed that the star-nosed mole, without any tactile assistance underwater, can navigate to food by inhaling and exhaling rapidly. This creates a small air bubble on their nostrils that they suck right back in at a rate of 10 times per second. This allows them to pick up odor molecules in the water, mixing it with the air, then drawing it back into its nose, effectively smelling the water. Even with these environmentally trying times, the star-nosed mole is luckily not an extreme concern for conservation. However, urbanization and construction can encroach on star-nosed mole habitat and can cause destruction to wetlands. Even though they may not be considered federally endangered or threatened, we still need to work to conserve habitat in the mountains in order to prevent them and many other species from getting to that point or going extinct. If you'd like to learn more about star-nosed moles, check out the links below to learn more about our underground friends. If there's a species you would like us to cover or have a question related to conservation, feel free to leave a comment. Lastly, we would love to get some feedback from you all on our videos and what you would like to see more of. Please take the time to fill out our survey listed in the description below. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.